How you doing, YouTube? Hiking Dave here. I wanted to talk about, while I'm cooking, I'm going to make something to eat, about David Pelota, or Polites. He's the author of Missing 411, and he is documenting cases around the country, and other parts of the world too, but I kind of focus on the ones that are in the United States and Canada. And there's a huge number, ridiculous number of hikers going missing, right out from under people's noses. You really should check it out. It's very interesting. I'm fascinated by that whole thing. He speaks of Yellowstone Park, and there's hundreds of missing people out there, and there's all over the country in all these state forests, and mountains and backcountry trails and stuff where people are missing, and there's no reason for it. There's, most of these, some of these people that have gone missing are accomplished hikers and backpackers, and they were only going out for say a day hike or something, really simple. They tell their family and friends where they're going, and they're gone. They just disappear. A lot of cases that they'll search that day into the night, and that night into the next day a storm will come in. Now, I'm not making this up. This is something that this guy David Pelota has come up. A lot of these stories match each other, where a freak snowstorm will come in that night when they're searching for somebody, and they'll comb over an area, search it thoroughly, and a year later, or 2 or 5 years later, they'll find the body of whoever they were looking for right in that area that they had searched thoroughly. And in other cases where the clothes, they'll find shoes and pants folded neatly or put neatly in a pile, and the hiker is gone. All of these cases, too, are right out from underneath the noses of, say, the parents. And there's one case of a little boy, I don't know if he was 5 or something like that. He went missing. And that night, a bad rainstorm, some bad weather came in and hampered their search efforts. And I don't recall if it was days later or a week later, this kid just walked out onto a road miles and miles from where he was lost, and the only way he could have traversed or traveled to get to where he was up steep terrain and really hardcore rock climb and stuff like that. And there's no way a 5-year-old could travel 27 miles up a horrible terrain. Don't quote me on the 27-mile thing, but it was something crazy like that, like a hiker, a seasoned hiker, backpacker, would be tough to do that. Never mind with no shoes and no pants. But they found the kid alive. You could research that too. It's again, David Pelota, missing 411. You guys should do a little looking up of it of your own. It's really, really interesting. I'm fascinated by that. And this guy David said he's an ex-cop, and he never mentions Bigfoot being the cause. But boy, he skirts the subject. And, things are said that in a lot of these areas, I mentioned this in the video before, if you took a map of the missing hikers in all these state forests and parks all over the country, and then get a map of sightings of Bigfoot and credible sightings and, not just one person seeing it, you could overlay that map over the missing person's map, and it is dead on. It's a little frightening, actually, but like I said, he never mentions Bigfoot. You almost get the feeling he's talking about Bigfoot, but he never says that. But look it up, guys. Check it out. It's very interesting. There's hours of podcast time with this guy being interviewed. Some of these stories are crazy, how these people disappear. Often it's the elderly, or it's a young child with maybe autism or some kind of intellectual problem, and which is odd too. But that's just a coincidence once or twice is a bit different from hundreds and hundreds of cases, very similar to each other. And some people are found, some people are never found. Other times where they're found, the area was searched really thoroughly, and yet they find the body there a year later. Some strange stuff. It's interesting. I find it fascinating, and maybe you guys will too. I'm gonna make my backpacker's pantry some fettuccine alfredo with chicken. Stuff's awesome. You just boil a little bit of water. I got my little pocket stove, and I'm gonna chow, and I'm gonna hike out of here. I'm a few miles in, and before the sun goes down, I'm gonna try to get back to my vehicle, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for clicking.